Gentle music or nature sounds fade in softly. Welcome to Earthy Remedy, the podcast where simple herbs and natural remedies meet real-life wellness. I'm Samnang Bradley, your host and wellness guide. Today, we're zeroing in on one earthy, powerful root that may help clear your skin, support digestion, and strengthen your hair without complicated rituals. Stay with me until the end, because I'll guide you through a step-by-step Burdock decoction for sipping and a paired nourishing scalp rinse you can make at home tonight. Listen to your body. Trust the earth. Feel the difference.
Hook. If you've been dealing with dull skin, occasional breakouts, a greasy scalp, or sluggish digestion, you might feel like you need a deep clean that still respects your body's balance. Burdock root is an affordable, time-tested plant that many people use as a gentle internal tonic and a topical rinse to reduce buildup and calm irritation. In this episode, we'll cover the benefits of burdock, practical ways to use it, and the exact measurements and steps for a burdock decoction and a scalp rinse. Stay with me for the full DIY herbal recipe. It's easy and kitchen-friendly.
Section 1. What this herb is. Burdock, botanically Arctium species, is a large-rooted plant with a firm, earthy root that's been used in traditional European, Chinese, and Japanese herbalism for centuries. When we talk about burdock in herbal recipes, we usually mean the dried root. You'll find it as whole dried slices, cut and sifted root, or powdered in reputable herb shops. The root has a slightly sweet, earthy flavor and contains compounds like polyphenols and inulin, a prebiotic fiber. For most kitchen preparations, dried burdock root is preferred because it stores well and extracts reliably in water. When sourcing, choose organic or well-tested suppliers and avoid wild harvested root unless you're certain of identification and cleanliness.
Section 2. Key health and beauty benefits. Let's break this down into clear categories so you can see where burdock might fit into your routine. Benefit 1. Skin and inflammation. Traditionally, burdock is used for skin that's irritated, congested, or prone to minor breakouts. Topically, cooled burdock decoction can soothe redness and reduce the look of tired skin when used as a compress or rinse. Internally, some people find that gentle burdock tea supports clearer skin over time. We use cautious language here. Burdock may support the skin's natural balance and comfort rather than cure skin conditions.
Benefit 2. Digestion and gentle detox support. Burdock has bitter and astringent notes that can gently stimulate digestion and support bile flow, which helps the body process fats and moves digestion along. It also contains inulin, a prebiotic fiber that feeds helpful gut bacteria. Many people find a regular, gentle herbal tonic helps reduce post-meal bloating and supports regularity. Again, may support, not replace medical care.
Benefit 3. Scalp and hair health. Used as a cooled rinse, burdock decoction can help cleanse scalp buildup, support circulation at the scalp surface, and make hair feel lighter and easier to manage. For hair that's limp or weighed down, a weekly rinse can refresh the scalp environment and improve texture. Practical and simple. That's the beauty of it.
Section 3. Practical ways to use burdock and the recipe payoff. Before we dive into the step-by-step, here are quick everyday uses to keep in mind. Sip a small cup of burdock decoction a few times a week as a gentle tonic. Use cooled decoction as a face or scalp rinse. Add powdered burdock to broths or stews for extra earthy depth. Or combine burdock with supportive herbs like nettle or dandelion. Now, as promised, let's get into the step-by-step recipes you came for. Clear, measured, and kitchen-friendly. This is the part to write down.
Recipe title: Deep Clean Burdock Decoction and Nourishing Scalp Rinse. You'll get 2 usable preparations. One you can sip as a gentle internal tonic, and one you can use to rinse and refresh your scalp.
Ingredients for the bedtime or daily decoction. 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried burdock root per 1 cup of water for a lighter infusion, or 1 to 2 tablespoons per 2 cups of water for a stronger decoction if you want to make a larger batch. Optional, a little honey or a squeeze of lemon to taste. For the scalp rinse, 2 to 3 tablespoons of dried burdock root per 3 to 4 cups of water, a large heat-safe bowl, and a towel. Equipment: a small pot with a lid, a fine strainer or muslin, a jar for storage, and a clean bowl for the rinse.
Step by step. Burdock decoction for sipping. Step 1. Measure 1 to 2 tablespoons of dried burdock root for every 2 cups of water. Place the root in a small pot. Step 2. Add cold water to the pot and bring to a gentle simmer over medium heat. Step 3. Once it reaches a simmer, reduce heat to low. Cover and let it simmer quietly for 20 to 30 minutes. This longer, low simmer extracts the deeper compounds from the tough root. This is why we call it a decoction rather than a quick tea. Step 4. Turn off the heat and let it cool slightly. Strain the liquid through a fine strainer or muslin into a jar. Step 5. Taste and add a little honey or lemon if desired. Sip warm or cooled, about half to 1 cup per serving, a few times a week or daily if it suits you.
Step by step. Nourishing scalp rinse. Step 1. Prepare a stronger batch, 2 to 3 tablespoons of dried burdock root in 3 to 4 cups of water. Simmer gently for 20 to 30 minutes, then allow to cool until warm to touch. Step 2. Strain the decoction into a clean bowl and let it reach a comfortably warm or cool temperature. Never use hot steam or hot water directly on the scalp. Step 3. After shampooing and rinsing as usual, pour the cooled burdock decoction slowly over the scalp and hair, working it in with your fingertips and massaging gently for 1 to 2 minutes to support circulation. Step 4. Leave on for a minute or two, then either leave it in as a final rinse or lightly rinse with cool water. Both work depending on your hair type. For added clarity, you can mix a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar or a splash of witch hazel into the final rinse if your scalp tolerates it. Patch test first. How often to use? For the decoction, a few times per week up to daily can be helpful for many people. Start with small amounts and notice how your body responds. For the scalp rinse, 1 to 2 times per week is a conservative, effective rhythm for most hair types. If you notice any irritation, reduce frequency or stop.
Tips and safety. A few important notes. First, if you're allergic to plants in the Asteraceae or daisy family, avoid burdock. Patch test topically before using the rinse widely. Second, burdock can have mild diuretic effects and may interact with some medications or with low blood pressure, so check with your healthcare provider if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, on medications, especially blood pressure or glucose-lowering drugs, or have chronic health conditions. Third, source your root from reputable suppliers and wash or simmer well. Avoid foraging unless you're confident in identification. Start small internally and do a 24-hour skin patch test for topical use. If you feel dizzy, unusually tired, or notice allergic symptoms, stop and seek medical advice.
Variations in pairing. If you like, blend burdock with nettle for mineral support, or with dandelion root for a more bitter, liver-supportive profile. For a calming bedtime ritual, add a little chamomile to your cup after straining. For the scalp rinse, a few drops of rosemary essential oil in a carrier or a rosemary decoction can help circulation. Use essential oils sparingly and avoid if you are sensitive.
Short recap. Today on Earthy Remedy, you learned what burdock root is, why people use it for gentle digestive support, clearer skin, and a refreshed scalp. And you received 2 clear recipes, a burdock decoction to sip and a nourishing scalp rinse to use 1 to 2 times per week. These are practical, kitchen-ready remedies, simple enough to make tonight. Let me share what I've learned. Small, regular rituals are how plant medicine becomes a steady support, not an all-or-nothing fix. Call to action. If this episode felt useful, follow Earthy Remedy on your favorite podcast app, share this episode with someone who wants a simple, natural approach to skin and hair care, and check the show notes for exact ingredient links, sourcing tips, and a printable version of today's recipes. Post your results or questions on our socials. We love hearing how a small ritual fits into your week. Start small. Trust the process. You've got this.
Gentle music or nature sounds fade in softly. Thanks for joining us today on Earthy Remedy. I'm Fiona Thompson, your co-host and nutritionist. If today's Burdock remedies resonated with you, try the Decoction and Scalp prints as instructed. Notice how your body and skin respond and make a note of any changes. Follow Earthy Remedy, rate and review the podcast, and share this episode with someone who could use a little plant-powered calm.
Thank you for spending this time with me. May these simple herbs bring more peace and radiance into your life. Listen to your body. Trust the earth. Feel the difference. Until next time, this is Earthy Remedy.